Joey, take it away.
Good morning, Paul. Thank you.
Morning, Joey. Is he drinking something or what?
Not that I can tell. I can see him, and he doesn't appear to be drinking at the moment.
I'm just wondering if he's on something. We talked about wearing a Hawaiian shirt or something on Friday, but I think he jumped ahead of me a couple of days. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on again. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. There's a lot of excitement about this, but some people have asked me, when are they opening? Are they open? What's the grand opening? All of this stuff. And I said, well, let's get the man in here, and he'll tell us exactly what's going on. The status of the latest Amazon is what?
Well, look, first of all, the day one associate launch day was actually Sunday, July 24th. At 6:30 a.m. So that was the day that they opened the facility officially, and they had all their associates come through. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's out on YouTube. You can do Jan 1 Amazon, and it'll show you the celebration that they had. There was music, there was food, there was Wavy Dave from the Jackson State. There was for those of you that would understand this, there was almost like a Dick Clark American Bandstand or Soul Train dance line into the day one launch event. It was fun.
What's the website on that?
It's actually on YouTube. Yeah. And if you just Google Amazon Jan 1 launch day. Jan.
Jan 1. The number or ONE?
The number 1.
Amazon Jan 1. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got it. All right, so this is it? No other ribbon cuttings? It's full?
No. The very first day they reserved specifically for the associates. They want that to be the day that's all about their employees. There's going to be a more public event for elected officials and local community leaders that will begin tomorrow. Okay. Actually, in the morning, the Makita team will meet the Amazon PR team 6:30 a.m. there at the facility. Oh. At 7 a.m., the media will arrive. They will go and take a site tour, take some B-roll images. 8:30, we're expecting those invited officials and community leaders to arrive. And at 9 a.m., we'll begin the event.
The head man's not going to be there, is he?
Well, when you say the head man, I'm going to tell you that the governor will be there. We'll have Paul Griffin with the Madison County Board of Supervisors. He'll be speaking. And this is probably the first time anybody's heard this name publicly. Isaiah Flanagan, who is the site leader for Jan 1, will be the speaker representing Amazon. So he's the gentleman that's running the facility out there.
I got it. Now, tell me about the employees, and are they there working this morning? I mean, is it going full speed, or is it a gradual step up?
Well, it is a gradual step up. This is Joey's estimate. I'm going to say that there's probably 300 to 400 employees out there now. I can tell you that approximately on July 10th, they basically opened up the hiring window, and they did that at midnight. So there was a group of people that were already in the queue, and they basically had to shut it down within 5 minutes. They had so many applications.
What's the average salary out there, starting salary?
I'm going to tell you that from an associate standpoint, I'm going to say it's $16 an hour. But, I think that's going to rise as these associates go through the initial work phase and they prove that they're there to work and they're good employees, that they'll see a bump up very, very quickly.
I think the ultimate is by the time they get to full capacity, 1,000 employees possibility.
That is correct. That is correct. We're actually meeting with Amazon today and obviously again tomorrow during the event, but we're going to get some more of those details. I want to find out when the next tranche of employees are going to be hired. We expect it'll be another wave like we saw the first wave of between 300 to 400. So we'll probably see another wave like that probably in the next month or month and a half.
And, of course, we're coming up on the fourth quarter and November and December, of course, which is going to be mega. But everybody was a little worried about this, Joey, when we heard the cutbacks and some of the facilities were not doing good. I think you guys did a good job of delineating the difference in this facility to some of the other ones. Would you speak to that?
Well, let's back up. Everyone understands that we are operating in a new environment when COVID came and it shut down the world and construction, everything came to a halt. Supply chain slowed down, and that was the result of our facility not opening up exactly when they claimed that it would be. Now, add on top of that the demand that what has been publicly put out there in the paper with regards to Amazon. There's something that specifically designates our facility different than any other facility in Mississippi and any other facilities that they're just opening up that are non-sort facilities. This is an automated robotic sort system facility. This sets it apart than 90% of the other facilities that are just big box, shade and shelter type inventory locations.
Would the delineation be the difference in one's a warehouse and one's a shipping unit?
Well, the automated robotic sort system is a robotic system that takes orders from the internet. When you and I are sitting at home and we're on our iPhone or we're on our iPad and we push that order, within 10 seconds, that order goes to a ARS facility somewhere in the U.S., and that order is being pulled, and it's being delivered down to the shipping location, which is on floors 1, 2, and 3.
That is absolutely amazing.
It is.
And you can almost see that happen when you place an order. It may go to Fargo in Dakotas, and then all of a sudden, 10 seconds later in Canton, Mississippi, or Madison County, it's clicking there, and the robot is ready to go. And within 60 seconds, I think it is actually delivered to where shipping is.
That is correct. That is
amazing. Tell me a little bit about these robots. What do they look like?
Well, tomorrow the media and a lot of our local elected officials and state officials and MDA will be there as well. They'll actually get to see for the first time what these robots look like. There are 4,500 of them that are on floors 4, 3, and 2. And the best way that I could describe them is they're large Roombas. On steroids. They're very large, and they will go underneath a stack of containers and lift that whole container up and move it to the outside of the warehouse window where there will be a packager who will reach in, or there will be another robot that will reach in and pick it up and put it on a conveyor system that then goes to an elevator and goes down to the first floor.
And directly to shipping one way or the other.
That's correct, yes.
How do you decide what is in that warehouse? I mean, it's impossible to have everything on Noah's Ark here, but how from the smallest to the largest, what's there?
Well, there's two types of Amazon warehouses. There's the sort warehouse and there's the non-sort. The non-sort, which is what Madison is not, are large items. They're canoes, they're bats, they're bicycles, they're large items. What we are with the automated robotic sort system is going to be something about the size of a bread box, maybe a little bit larger. And there's about 25 million inventory locations located in Canton, Mississippi, and Madison County. So anything that'll fit inside a bread box or a little larger.
I would imagine, I guess all the computers are housed, the mainframe, everything on the first floor, I'm not sure, but I would imagine they also are sophisticated to know exactly when inventory is low. There's a whole new process of getting that back in there. So it's going to be a marvel to see. I want to cover this one more time on some other things that may be going on with Joey Deason, Executive Director of Madison County Economic Development Authority. One more segment with him. The Amazon announces a new state-of-the-art fulfillment. I think you said Jan 1, Amazon Jan 1 is there if you want to go see it on YouTube. Back with more coming up next. And talking about the archives, the old silver fox. Haven't heard him in a while. Charlie Rich. Back with Joey Deason, Executive Director of Makita. That is the Madison County Economic Development Authority. Joey, I just because that mega site out there is not full, of course, but what else is happening with that?
Well, look, I think our elected officials and our state and our MDA are going to be extremely excited tomorrow when they arrive at the park. You're going to see a lot of activity that's going on. Obviously, when you first pull into the park, the biggest thing you're going to see is the Amazon facility. It's huge. It's 3.8 million square feet. Then you're going to see a large speculative building that is being constructed as well, and it's 100,000 square feet, 32 feet at the eaves, and it can be expanded to 200 or 300,000 square feet. So it's going to stand out at you. But more importantly, we're trying to take this park and make it a little bit different than most industrial parks. We have put landscaping at the front. We've spent a lot of time and effort in manicuring the entire park, and that's 1,000 acres. And I don't know how many of you people pay someone to cut your grass, but when you cut and mow and maintain 1,000 acres, it can get expensive. We initiated and put in a brand new mega site sign, which is absolutely gorgeous as well. So you're going to see a lot of improvements, and we've got a lot of activity. We've got about 9 projects that we're chasing at the moment. Paul, I will tell you, if you're familiar with car salesmen, I think in the early stages of the pandemic and COVID, we had a lot of people kicking tires. Then due to inflation, construction costs, we've had some of those people pull back. We, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, have seen a little bit more activity pick up again, so we're excited about the future and what it holds.
Is traditionally, Joey, where like car dealers or car manufacturers, you have some peripheral suppliers coming in? Traditionally, in the other Amazon areas, do they have anybody that's that connected with them that they need that? You understand what I'm saying? In other words, that somebody would come as a supplier to the supplier.
To my knowledge, there has been some activity that's related directly to Amazon, but I think it's more indirectly a benefit by being just located nearby one of the facilities. I don't think decisions were strictly made based upon a logistical, hey, we need to build directly beside an Amazon so that they can ship our product. We have seen in other areas, though, that where Amazon facilities in the past, pre-COVID, there were other suppliers that did locate there. But it's not strictly like a automotive Nissan facility that they demand that the suppliers have to be within 2 miles.
I will tell you this. I think we've done such a tremendous job, much better job in different parts of the state. Here in Madison County, of course, without a doubt, in the northern part, DeSoto County, in that area. And also in places like the Golden Triangle. I think we're light years away where we were 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Well, look, we have very quietly had a very good year this year. There's not been a lot of press releases. A lot of these have been without the assistance of the state, which is a good thing. There's
you
no
afraid somebody's going to steal somebody's going to steal some of that? Or?
Oh, no. Look, I invite anybody in the state to come to take a look at our park because I'd like to replicate it from one end to the other. I stole a lot of ideas from the GTR. I stole ideas from DeSoto counties. I look at those places and we developed ourselves based upon a lot of those attributes that they've done. And you've got to give credit where credit's due. At the end of the day, you've got to develop product in this state. And, last year the state of Mississippi gave MDA $40 million for site development. That's the largest that they've ever received in that program. We're expecting, hopefully, to see a lot of good things come from those funds. I know that strategically it needs to be placed around the state, but there are some places that can really, really win, and I think that they can be beefed up, and at the end of the day, it'll serve all of Mississippi very, very well.
What is your take on, as far as the comments that you get from these folks on workforce development?
Look, my wife works for HR for an IT company. So I get to hear this story almost every day, whether at work or when I get home as well. Times are changing. You've got to change your structure, your way of doing business. You've got to evaluate your labor scales. You've got to evaluate if there's one person that can do the job of 2 to 3, pay that person more than you would pay that 1 to 2 to 3. Take advantage of loyalty. You've got to do things like in a manufacturing sector. People, especially at high school, look at manufacturing and they go, why would I want to go to manufacturing? I'm going to stand at a line all day. Well, guess what? That's not the end of the road if you start in manufacturing on a line. There's opportunities for you to excel, to move into management, and to do things much greater than just stand in a line all day. So we've got to reinvent some of these descriptions.
Well, if that's your passion and that's what you need to start from the ground floor, look at it as a learning experience, and you know the business. One day you want to be at the top floor, but you got to start from the bottom, so you'll know exactly what is going on. I agree with you.
Yes.
The situation where we look at some of the funding for folks to we used to do this a lot as far as these industrial parks. And they just went nowhere for many, many years. And now everybody wants a mega site, but it is tremendously expensive. It takes a long time, and sometimes they sit there forever. But then you hear about facilities like this opening in the central Mississippi area, and the people of the Delta just wring their hands. How can we do this? How do we get it done?
First of all, you have to set expectations. You've got to look at things from a perspective of a consultant or a company. Now, you could go and build and purchase 1,000 acres in the middle of an Arizona desert, but there are no people around that desert. It does you no good to have an industrial park. So you got to be strategic where you develop these sites. We're very fortunate, and it's one of the reasons that I moved to Madison County, because I knew there was a population base here. I knew that there was a quality of life. I knew that the school system was good. I knew that they didn't have product. So thankful for the Madison County Board of Supervisors and the Makita Board. We've been able to make that happen. And strategically, we've been able to purchase the property, put in the road, the water, the sewer, the water tank, the fiber. And now we can sit back, and I don't want to say we can be picky, but we can sort of pick and choose who we want to be in that park. Because ultimately, we want employees to make better than what our average wages are in Madison County. Our Madison County average wages are about $48,000 a year. So that exceeds the majority of Mississippi. So when you start recruiting companies, those companies need to pay more than $24, $25 an hour.
Have you seen any results, though? You expect any changes or maybe more enthusiasm because of some of our tax laws that were dealt and the graduated skill downwards from the last legislative session?
The most excitement I've seen here recently is the gas prices in Europe, because they are skyrocketing. I believe we're personally in the U.S. about to see foreign direct investment from some of those European countries pick way back up, because we're seeing in Germany, in some cases, gas prices have risen 1,000%. So it's affecting their bottom line day to day.
Man, just knocked my phone over. I was trying to get to we had some more inflationary reports coming in this morning, and what was it, 8.5%, still very, very hot as far as the inflation numbers. They are just relentless, and most people think by Labor Day we're going to go up as far as gas is concerned as we continue through the end of the summer. So who knows? We'll see. Anything else you want to mention, sir, while we're here?
Well, look, I started mentioning this a moment ago. We've been very fortunate this year. We have had a quiet, exceptional year. We've won 7 projects, 375 jobs, almost $570 million in new investment.
Impressive.
And the average wages are above $60,000 a year. So we're excited about the future. We're looking forward to what's going to happen next year, and we're excited about the Amazon event tomorrow.
Yeah. The housing market has still been pretty good. Of course, everything has slowed up a little bit. The housing market's been incredible in the central part of the state, and we were talking to Kevin Blackwell, and he says the business up in the DeSoto County area is just still going gangbusters, and people are still moving in.
It's very interesting that you should mention that, because the Makita team does go out and we market our site, we market the county and the state as well. One of the things and the feedback that we're getting from consultants is housing, affordable housing for the workers. So it used to be product, labor. Now they're actually looking at the housing market as well. Quality
of life, a good police department, medical centers, schools, I think, to be honest with you, we get a lot of bad publicity, but we have a growing number of those communities in our state that rival anybody, anywhere. Certainly when you put the Southern hospitality of the people in there, it puts us ahead. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate it, sir. Very much. Executive Director, Madison